Hello, myself, Professor Dr. Hemant Narkhede, PK Kotecha Mahila Mahavidyalaya Bhusan. Today, I am going to enlighten you on the topic of stereoisomerism for second year Bachelor in Sciences degree. Let me share my screen. Again, welcome all of you. So, question arises, what is isomerism? Yes, organic compounds having same molecular formula but different structural formulae are called as isomers of each other, and the phenomenon is called as isomerism. Now, isomerism divided into two types, structural isomerism and stereoisomerism. Structural isomerism again gets classified into four types, chain isomerism, position isomerism, functional isomerism, metamerism. Stereoisomerism divided into configurational isomerism, conformational, and configurational again divided into two types, geometrical and optical isomerism. So let us come to know one by one. What is structural isomerism? Yes, these two meanings are same. Same molecular formula but different structural formulae. This is the main thing. Here molecular formula is also same, structural formula is also same, but arrangement of atoms in space is different. Molecular formula same, structural formula same, but arrangement of atoms in space is different. So this is the characteristic of stereoisomerism. And in structural and this simple isomerism definitions are same. Now what is chain isomerism? Organic compounds having same molecular formula, same functional group, but different chain of the carbons are called as chain isomerism. Organic compounds having same molecular formula but different position of functional groups are called as position isomerism. This is due to the different functional group, and this is due to the different alkyl group. So in this case, all are having same molecular formula, same functional group, but here chain of the carbon is different, that's why chain isomerism. Here position of the attachment of functional group is different, that's why position isomerism. Here functional groups themselves are different, that's why functional isomerism. And here alkyl groups are different, that's why metamerism. Configurational again divided into two types. So here it is due to the restricted rotation about double bond, and here it is due to the free movement of carbon-carbon single bond. So this is divided into two types, geometrical and optical. These are shown by double bonded compound. These are shown by single bonded compound. Let us come to know next thing. So one by one, what is isomerism? What is structural isomerism? What is chain isomerism? Just I have told you. Same molecular formula, different arrangement of atoms means structural formula. Structural isomerism, same MF, different structural formula. Chain isomerism is due to the different chain of the carbon. For example, N-butane and isobutane. CS3, CS2, CS2, CS3. And this is CS3, CS, CS3, CS3. Straight chain of 4 carbon, N-butane. Branch chain of 4 carbon, isobutane. So these are the chains are different. Rest of the things are same. That's why chain isomerism. In position isomerism, functional group attachment is different. Here the Cl is attached to first carbon. Here Cl is attached to second carbon. So this is position isomerism. Both compounds are having same molecular formula, C3H7Cl. But in this case, Cl is attached to first carbon. Here it is to second carbon. Next is functional isomerism. It is due to the different functional group present. So both these compounds, ethyl alcohol also called as ethanol, dimethyl ether also called as methoxymethane. So these are two compounds, both are the functional isomers of each other. Why? Because both are having same molecular formula C2H6O. But here functional group is alcohol, here ether. This is the main thing. Now metamerism here. See why these are the metamerism. 2-pentanone, 3-pentanone. This is first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon. Total number of carbons are 5. It is a ketone functional group. That's why it is a 2-pentanone, because second carbon is ketonic in nature. You have to give numbering from left to right. Here numbering can be given from this side or this side. It is all right, but it is coming at third position. That's why it is a 3-pentanone or pentane 3-ONE. Now this is all regarding structural isomerism. Now stereoisomerism. Compounds having same molecular formula, same structural formula, but different arrangement of atoms in space are called as stereoisomers of each other, and phenomenon is called as stereoisomerism. So two types, optical and geometrical. In optical isomerism, this is the a very good example, D lactic acid and L lactic acid. D is called as dextrorotatory, L is called as levorotatory. Both are non-superimposable mirror images of each other. If you put this diagram on this, so on H there comes OH, on this OH there comes H. So it does not coincide. So as it does not coincide, they are called as enantiomers of with each other. So two non-superimposable mirror images are called as enantiomers of each other. Now this is geometrical isomerism. So very good example is cis-2-butene and trans-2-butene. Why it is 2-butene? Because double bond is between second and third position. So this is also 2-butene, this one is also 2-butene. But remember, both same groups are on the same side of the double bond. This is cis. Same groups on the opposite side of the double bond, it is trans. So this is what to remember. Conformational isomerism. Yes, it is due to the free rotation about carbon-carbon single bond. Correct. And this configuration is, does carbon double bond carbon cannot be rotated because pi electron density going to break, and that's why these isomers exist. There are two types, geometrical and optical isomerism. So already we have learned geometrical isomerism. Now how to represent organic molecule on paper? Yes, there are 4 ways of representing organic molecule on paper. First is Porphyry-Wedge projection formula. Second is Fisher projection formula. Third is Sohrs formula. And last one is Newman projection formula. So let us come to know one by one. If I want to draw the wedge projection formula for ethane, how I have drawn? Listen. So this is C2S6 is ethane. So one group is shown by dotted line. It means that this group is going behind this paper. This is shown by dark line, wedge line, thick line coming towards you. And these two are shown by normal line, means it is in the plane of the paper. Same logic here also. So this is what to remember here. Now Fisher projection formula. So here, what is there? So you have to write this. Suppose it is a tartaric acid or even it is a glyceraldehyde. This compound is glyceraldehyde, CHO, CHOH, CH2H. This is asymmetric carbon atom, also called as chiral center, because this carbon is connected to 4 different groups. So this carbon is here. It is shown by like this, these bonds and only these groups. So top and bottom, left and right. This is the way of drawing the projection formula. This is the projection formula for tartaric acid. This carbon they are not going to show. At this joint, there is imagination that there is a carbon. Here also there is a carbon. Now Sohrs formula. Listen here. This is the ethane Sohrs formula. So these two are inverted Y. This means that this is in the same line. These non-bonded hydrogens are in the same line. Similarly remaining also. But here, this is inverted Y and this is simple Y. So this hydrogen and no any hydrogen is in the same plane, same line. So there it does not. So this is a staggered form, staggered conformation of ethane. And this one is eclipse conformation of ethane. So staggered conformation is more stable than eclipse conformation. Why? Because here there is, as these groups are in the same line, they interact with each other. Interaction increases energy, and energy increases, stability decreases. That's why eclipse is less stable than staggered. or staggered is more stable than eclipse. Let us come to know next Newman projection formula. Yes, this is the Newman projection formula for ethane again. Here, circle point is front carbon, edges of circle is backside carbon. Circle point is front side carbon, edges of circle is backside carbon. So here, inverted Y for this 3 hydrogen attached to the front carbon in ethane, and this is Y backside carbon, in which hydrogens are attached to the backside carbon. And that's why these lines I have shown up to these edges of circle only. So again, this hydrogen and hydrogen are away from each other, no interaction, no increase in energy, stability increases. That's why staggered conformation of ethyl in this projection formula also more stable than eclipse. What is happening in eclipse? These are in same line. That's why interact, and there is a repulsive forces existing. And as repulsive forces existing, it increases the energy of the molecule, and as it increases the energy of molecule, it decreases the stability. So these are the Newman projection formulas for ethane. These are interconvertible. Now what is tetrahedral carbon? Carbon which is connected to 4 different atoms or groups. It's called as actually asymmetric carbon, also called as chiral center. But in simple language, tetrahedral carbon means carbon connected to 4 groups. It may be same or different. Okay. Now, next part is optical activity actually. So two non-superimposable mirror images are called as enantiomers, enantiomers optical antipodes. Now what is ordinary light? The light which vibrates in all plane perpendicular to the plane of the direct plane of the paper. Now when ordinary light is passed through Nichols prism, you will getting plane polarized light. What is the characteristic of plane polarized light? It vibrates only in one plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation. The device in which polarization of light occurs is called as polarizer. And what is optical activity? Some substances have ability to rotate plane of pupil either to clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. This habit of this substance is called as optically active substances, and this phenomenon is called as optical activity. Now, how to measure the optical activity of the compound? Yes, this is the instrument whose name is polarimeter. The arrangement is like this. There is a source through which ordinary light can be given. It when falls on the polarizer or Nichols prism, there is a plane polarized light obtained here. If you observe the directions, here it is vibrating in all directions. It vibrates in one particular plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation. Then it is allowed, PPL is allowed to pass through a solvent which is placed here in the glass tube, and angle of rotation is measured. In the second set, remove this solvent and put here the solution of the substance whose optical activity to be determined or measured. You carry same experiment, you note down the angle of rotation in observation table. So this finishes the experiment. Again I am telling you, ordinary light which vibrates in all plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation, it is allowed to pass through polarizer or Nichols prism. What happens due to this? Plane polarized light is obtained. What is the characteristic? Vibrates in one particular plane perpendicular to the direction of propagation. It is allowed to pass through a solvent in the first case. An angle of rotation is measured. There are automatic recorder also. And in the second set, you remove this solvent. Put here the substance solution of the substance whose optical activity to be determined. But one precaution to be taken, same solvent you have to use here also, which you have used in the first step. So from angle of rotation, you can calculate specific rotation by this formula. Alpha observed means angle of rotation observed actual during experiment. Length is in dm cube and concentration of solution in decimeter cube. You have to put this value. Generally 10 centimeter length is arranged in the instrument, and this concentration is taken is 1 grams per milliliter. This is general. Same thing as shown like this. Ordinary light pass through Nichols prism, you will getting PPL. PPL pass through the solution of organic substance. There might have chances that this PPL vibrates in clockwise direction or PPL vibrates in anti-clockwise direction after passing through the optically active substance. If it vibrates in clockwise direction, it is called as dextrorotatory, and if it vibrates in anti-clockwise direction, it is called as levorotatory. So what is dextrorotatory? Optical isomer which rotates plane of PPL in clockwise direction is called as dextrorotatory, and optical isomer which rotates plane of PPL in anti-clockwise direction is called as levorotatory. So this is for dextro, this is for levo. So what is optical isomerism? Compounds having same physical and chemical properties but differing only in the behavior towards PPL are called as optical isomerism. This is the different behavior towards PPL, correct? And the phenomenon is called as optical isomerism. So same thing as written here. Now what is dextro, what is levo has written here. But remember, 50% dextrorotatory and 50% levorotatory form of the two compounds, equimolecular or equimolar mixture. It's called as a racemic mixture and it is optically inactive due to internal compensation. This is the main important thing to be remembered here. Why? Because optical rotation created by dextrorotatory is exactly cancelled by optical rotation created by levorotatory in opposite direction. That's why it is optically inactive. It is called as plus minus form or DL form. So this is the cause of optical activity. So this is mirror image. This is on right hand side. You will observe it on left hand side. What is enantiomers? Two non-superimposable mirror images are called as enantiomers, enantiomorphs, or optical antipodes. What is dissymmetry? Yes, dissymmetry is necessary and sufficient condition for existence of enantiomerism. There should be no symmetry. If I put this, on C there is coming B, and on this B there is coming C of the another molecule. Lactic acid, this is the structure for lactic acid. If you go through lactic acid, this COH, OH, H, CS3. OH on right hand side, dextrorotatory, OH on left hand side, levorotatory. These two are non-superimposable mirror images. If I put this diagram on this diagram, there is coming OH on each other and here OHH on each other. So this does not coincide. This does not matches, means they are non-superimposable mirror images, also called as enantiomers. Chirality. What is chiral center? Yes, this is chirality. A chiral molecule allows an enantiomer, that is non-superimposable mirror images, while a chiral molecule, not chiral, has a mirror image which are superimposable on each other. Our next point is elements of symmetry. There are three elements of symmetry: plane of symmetry, center of symmetry, alternating axis of symmetry. Someone may ask you question on this for 3 marks. So a molecule is called as symmetric if it is superimposable on its mirror image. If molecule is called as dissymmetric if it is not superimposable on its mirror image. A molecule is considered to be symmetrical if it contains any one of the above elements of symmetry and weight. So it is interesting to notify that either of this symmetry, if it is present, that compound is optically inactive. What is plane of symmetry? An imaginary plane. This is the structure for ethane. An imaginary plane which cuts that molecule into two equal halves. If this is so, then plane of symmetry is present. But if plane of symmetry is present, that compound is or molecule is optically inactive. Correct? This is center of symmetry. This is the difluorocyclobutane. Dichloro 1,3-dichloro 2,4-difluorocyclobutane structure. Correct? Now, what is center of symmetry? Point in the center through which, if lines are drawn on either side, it gives equal halves. Again, I am telling you, what is center of symmetry? A line in the center of the molecule through which, if lines are drawn, gives two equal halves. That is called as center of symmetry. Now what is alternating axis of symmetry? Now here, if you, this is alpha trioxylic acid. If I rotate this molecule through 180 degree, you will getting like this. This pH means phenyl ring above the plane of the ring. Here now it is below the plane of the ring because rotated through 180 degree. The groups are which are here above the plane of the ring, they are observed here below the plane of the ring. And the groups which are below the plane of the ring here observed to be. But remember, this and this are mirror image. Again, if we rotate it, you will getting same diagram. Or this gives match. That's why it is symmetry. And if it is symmetrical, or if this symmetry is observed, a compound is optically inactive. Let us come to know configuration. So it is a characteristic of stereoisomer. So this is plus lactic acid minus methyl ester. How to identify? OH on right hand side plus. Correct. So this is ester. What is absolute configuration? R and S configuration. R stands for rectus, right-handed. S stands for sinister. To decide any molecule as a R and S, you have to follow Kahn-Engel-Prelog sequence rule, SEEP rule. Rules for this R and S configuration. You have to give priority to these four groups which are attached to the asymmetric carbon as a 1, 2, 3, 4. For deciding the priority, the group which are having more atomic number should be given more priority. Correct? If it is a C double bond O, it should be counted as this carbon is attached to 2 oxygen. If it is C triple bond C, it is assumed that carbon is attached to 3 carbon. These things we have to use while deciding the priorities of these groups. Here, this carbon is attached to deuterium, hydrogen, OH and ethyl group, but their priority order is like this. Why? This oxygen is having atomic number 8, which is highest in this case. Here atomic number 6, atomic number 1, and atomic number 1. That's why this is the order. Similarly here, this is glyceraldehyde. Priority order OH first. Why? Because oxygen, this asymmetric carbon is directly attached to O. O is having atomic number 8. Then this aldehyde group. Why? Because this C double bond O, no? So it is attached to 2 oxygen. So atomic number is more in this case than this case. And last one is hydrogen. Similarly, Br most 35 atomic number. That's our first priority. Next to it is aldehyde because it is C double bond O. 1 carbon is attached to 2 oxygen. That's why atomic number is coming to be more. And this is third. Now, how to assign R and S configuration? Yes. You give the priority to this as a 1, 2, 3, 4 or ABCD. If your vision travels in clockwise direction, call it as a R. If your vision travels in anti-clockwise direction, call it as a S configuration. This is how to decide R and S configuration. Now these are the some examples. Here you will be given in the examination like this molecule. First of all, you give the priority order. Write this priority order. Here it is first because bromine maximum atomic number. This is Cl. Next to it, bromine 35, Cl 17, fluorine 9, and hydrogen H1. That's why it is minimum. So what to do? First of all, you have to take fourth priority group at the bottom place. Fourth priority group at the bottom place. Naturally, it goes over here. So H here and Cl here. This is the rule that fourth priority group is coming here. Correct? So you have to bring in the first exchange always while deciding R and S configuration. Fourth priority group here, and so Cl came here and hydrogen came here. In second exchange, interchange, what to do? You have to bring second priority group at the top. You have to bring second priority group at, and for that purpose, Cl has to shift here and Br has to shift here. Now, after doing this two exchange, to interchange, You have to observe whether 1, 2, 3 groups are vision travel in clockwise direction, it is R, and if it is traveling in anti-clockwise direction, it is S. Here, it is traveling in anti-clockwise direction, that's the S configuration. Next compound is this one. No need to know the name of the compound, but remember, you have to give the priority order. Here, maximum priority is for chlorine because atomic number 17. Next to it is for aldehyde group because C double bond OH. Next to it is methyl group and next to it is hydrogen. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In first exchange, what to do? Fourth priority group should be bring on the bottom place. So CS3 goes here, H came here. You will get it like this. But now our next aim is to bring the second priority group on the top, but it is already there. So that's why don't disturb this now. As the second priority group came on the top position and fourth priority group came on the down position. So don't disturb them. You have to do compulsorily 2 exchanges and then decide whether it is R or S. So now you rotate this. So CS3 have came at the place of Cl and Cl have came at the place of CS. Then you observe if 1, 2, 3 lying in the anti-clockwise direction, that's the S configuration. Next example, no question regarding the name, but groups are important for deciding RNAs. OCS3, oxygen atomic number 8, that's why first priority. C2H5, 2 carbons, that's why second priority. CS3, only 1 carbon, third priority, and hydrogen minimum, 1 atomic number. So what to do? You do the exchange, interchange. You have to do interchange such that fourth priority group come at down position, bottom position. So for that purpose, ethyl have to go here and hydrogen have to come here. Then the next is second priority group should come on the top, and for that purpose, this is the exchange. And now observe, it is a S configuration. Similarly, this one, next compound, first priority because nitrogen atomic number 7, second priority because C double bond OH, third priority because CS3, and fourth H, more atomic number, first priority. So this is first, second, third, fourth. What is our job? Yes, during the first exchange, you have to bring fourth priority group here. So to bring it here, you have to do the exchange with here. So CS3, here there was CS3, now it have came H. In second exchange, now 2 and 4 are on the correct position. Don't disturb them. But you have to do the second exchange. Don't observe here. If it is you observe, it is coming as a R configuration. But don't observe it. You have to compulsorily do the 2 exchanges. And that's why you change the position. And now if you observe, it is a anti-clockwise rotation. Vision travel in anti-clockwise direction, that is S configuration. Here, priority 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth priority group should be taken here. And second priority group should be taken here in the second action. Now 1, 2, 3 travel in clockwise direction, and that's why it is R configuration. Now this is the compound in which there are 2 asymmetric carbon. Carbon number 2 and 3. These are asymmetric. So here, while deciding it, you have to consider for deciding R or S at C2, means carbon 2. This is one group, this is second group, this is third group, and this total should be considered as a one group. And give the priority to this one group, and accordingly you have to decide R or S. Similarly, while deciding the third carbon C3, R or S, you have to consider Cl as a one group, H as another group, C2H5 as another one, this total as another group. Count it as a one group here while deciding the R or S at C3, because at C2 R or S came and at C3 RR S kind. Correct. Similarly, these are some examples. Give the priority to the fourth group, then bring this fourth priority group at the bottom, second priority group at the top. If your vision travel in anti-clockwise direction, S, and if your vision travel in clockwise direction, then it is R. So see here, in the last case, this is the case. So what is there at C2 and C3 we have written. At C2, it is coming to be S. How it is coming to be S? Yes. And at C3, it is coming to be again S. 1, 2, 3. So C3 is R. Same diagram as well. C3 is R because 1, 2, 3. So C2 means carbon atom number 2. It's S configuration and carbon atom number 3 is at R configuration. Now what are enantiomers? Listen. So enantiomers here C2S, that second carbon S configuration, 3R, that third carbon R configuration. By the same way you can calculate enantiomers. These two are enantiomers because they are non-superimposable mirror images of each other. This is 2-bromo 3-chlorobutane. 2-bromo 3-chlorobutane. Correct. This is also 2-bromo 3-chlorobutane. Yes. But here, what is there at second position and what is there at third position? So diastereomers. These are not mirror images of each other. The stereoisomers, but not object and mirror images of each other, are diastereomers. So these are two diastereomers, non-mirror images. Say, see, again same compound. This is S configuration, this is R configuration, this is S and S. Rest of the things are similar. Now what is meso compound? Yes. Meso means they have asymmetric carbon, even more than one also. But still that molecule is optically inactive due to symmetry. Correct. So what is the meaning of meso? The compounds which are achiral, means it is having at least one asymmetric carbon, or even in mesotartaric acid there are two asymmetric carbon, even though they are stereo centers called as meso compounds. They are having plane of symmetry and that's why they are optically inactive. Now what is racemic mixture? Equimolar or equimolecular mixture of dextro and leo. For example, this is the tartaric acid, I think. Yes. So here there is a plane of symmetry. That's why. This mesoform is racemic mixture, optically inactive. Similarly here also. This is all regarding. Now geometrical isomerism, next top point. What are geometrical isomers? Yes, compounds having same molecular formula, same structural formula, but differ in the arrangement of atoms of groups in space due to hindered rotation around double bond. So double bonded compound undergo this geometrical isomerism. If same groups are lying on the same side of the double bond, it is called as cis. If same groups are lying on the opposite side of the double bond, and it's trans. See, this is trans 2-butene, CH3 opposite side, HH opposite side. It is having boiling point 1 degree Celsius, and this cis compound is having boiling point 4 degree Celsius. Now conditions for geometrical isomerism. So this is both this compound do not show geometrical isomerism. Why? Because this double bonded carbon is attached to same group. If double bonded carbon is attached to same group, then it does not show geometrical isomerism. Here also, this double bonded carbon atom is attached to same group, no geometrical isomerism. What is the meaning of cis? Similar groups on same side. What is the meaning of trans? Similar groups on opposite side. So trans isomer is always more stable than cis isomer. Why? Because in trans isomer, there is no repulsive forces. In cis isomer, they repel each other. Repulsion increases energy and decreases the stability. That's why trans isomer is always more stable than cis isomer. Now geometrical isomerism. Now these are the conditions which are necessary to show geometrical isomerism. So these are the different group. Yes, it is allowed. So malic acid, fumaric acid, C. Cis isomer of the same, both are having same molecular formula. But both are cis malic acid. Both are trans fumaric acid. Here, isocrotonic acid and here by mistake crotonic acid. Crotonic acid it must be there. So isocrotonic acid and crotonic acid. So here also these are the different groups. These are the different. Even though they are same, no problem. They are attached at different double bonded carbon. So it is allowed. Both this shows geometrical isomerism. Now type 3. This group and this group completely 4 different groups. AB different, attached to double bonded carbon, and DE different. Now what is E and Z nomenclature? Enjagen means opposite side, means trans. E isomer means enjagen, opposite side, means trans. And Z means jusamin, means together, means cis. Jusamin means together, means cis. For example, whatsoever we have learned for cis and trans, same meaning here for Z and E. Now here, listen. If this 1,1 priority group lying on the same side of the double bond, it is Z isomer. If 1,1 priority group lying on the opposite side of the double bond, then it is trans, means E isomer. See, CS3 first priority, same side of the double bond. HH, same side. But here side changes. E, enjagen means trans. So Z means cis and E means trans. These are the some examples which shows. This is crotonic acid, E-crotonic acid, because 1,1 priority group on opposite side. Here, this is also E11 priority group on opposite side. Again, for deciding priority rules, priority of the group, you have to follow the SIP rule, Kahn-Engel-Prelog sequence rule. This is Z because 1,1 priority group on the same side. Here, on this double bonded carbon, Br takes first priority and Cl takes second priority because you have to give for these two groups priority. 1, 2. Here 1, 2. Here Br is having atomic number 35. That's why is given first priority. Chlorine is having atomic number 17. That's why given second priority. So bromochloropropene. Similarly here some examples are written. So this is 4-ethyl 5N-propyl E4-nonene because double bond is between 4 and 5 carbon. This is E1-bromo 1,2-dichloroethene because double bond is between. So it is ethene. Similarly, it is a 2,4-hexadiene. So di means 2, En means double bond, ZZ. This is also Z and this is also Z. So this is the meaning of it. Correct? These are again some examples. Bromo 2-butene, Z isomer. Then 2Z3-chloro-4-methyl-3-hexene. Double bond is between third and fourth. At the fourth position there is methyl and Z means same. So 1,1 priority group lying on same side of the double bond. Z. 1,1 priority group lying on the opposite side of double bond. 1,1 priority group lying on the opposite side of double bond. E. Same logic here also. Z2 pentene, E2 pentene. Z3 hexene, E3. Observe it. Same groups on the same side of double bond Z. Same groups on the opposite side of the double bond and E. Again, these are also example. E means adjacent, means across. First priority group, opposite side of double bond, means E. First priority group attached to the double bonded carbon on same side, it is Z. This is the logic to be implemented here. Similarly, 4-ethyl 5N-propyl 4-nonene. Double bond is between 4 and 5 of the 9 carbon. Correct. So this is E isomer because 1-1 priority group opposite side of double bond. 2-2 priority group also opposite, but 1-1 priority on the same side. Same. 2-2 priority on the same side. Same. So in oxime, geometrical isomerism in oxime. So here, this OH and H are on same side. So syn aldoxime. Aldehyde on reaction with hydroxylamine gives aldoxime, and ketone on reaction with hydroxylamine gives ketoxime. But in aldehydes, aldoxymes and ketoxime, they are not using the term RNS or ENZ, cis and trans. But instead of that, nomenclature system have given that syn means cis and anti means trans. This is synaldoxime. So this hydrogen and OH on same side, synaldoxime. Because RCH double bond O is aldehyde. So that's why this hydrogen. And now they are on opposite side. That's why anti-aldoxime. Here benzaldoxime has written. C6H5CH double bond O is benzaldehyde. It on condensation with hydroxylamine gives syn-benzaldoxime or trans anti-benzaldoxime. H and OH opposite side, anti. H and OH on same side, cis. Similarly here also. It is, this OH group is syn to methyl but anti to phenyl. That's why syn methyl anti-phenyl ketoxime. This is ketoxime because RCR double bond in OH is ketoxime and RCH double bond in OH is aldoxime. Correct. Here both groups are same, but these two groups are anti. So same thing as written. Similarly, syn-phenyl tolyl ketone. This is tolyl actually. There should be TOLYL. This is toluene, one hydrogen less. So these two groups are syn, but these two groups are anti. Same thing. The preferences syn and anti refer to the relative positions of OH group and the R group. Geometrical isomers can be isolated from each other because they have different physical properties such as MPBP, refractive indices, solubilities, densities, etc. But what is the main thing? They are having similar chemical property, but their rate of reaction is different. So next point is, what is conformational isomerism? Yes, the different arrangement of atoms in space that result in the free rotation of groups about carbon-carbon single bond are called as conformational isomers, also called as rotational isomers. These are the conformational. So this angle between two non-bonded atom or element is called as dihedral angle. And if it is more, then it is good for stability. Conformation of ethane. There are two conformations, eclipse and staggered. In eclipse, they are exactly in the same line. That's why these two groups repel each other. That's why energy of the molecule increases, stability decreases. That's why eclipse is less stable than staggered. Staggered is more stable because there is no interaction, repulsive forces between these two hydrogen which are non-bonded to each other. Conformational analysis of ethane. Yes, this staggered on conformation is obtained by rotation through 60 degree, 180 degree, 300 degree. And this is the lowest energy, that's why most stable. But in eclipse conformation, for the ethane obtained at 0 degree, 120 degree, 140 degree and 360 degree rotation of the carbon-carbon single bond. So that's why it is a least stable. Its potential energy increases due to the group interaction, and it has observed that it is 3 kilocalories per mole. So more energy, less stability. That's why eclipse conformation of the ethane is less stable than staggered. So this is the energy profile diagram for conformations of ethane. At 60 degree, 180 degree, 300 degree, there is a stagger. And at this angle, there is an eclipse conformation. And eclipse is having more energy by 3 kilocalories. That's why eclipse is less stable than staggered. Conformations of propane simply here CS3H close to each other, HH, eclipse here. They are apart from each other. Staggered, always staggered is more stable. Here in it, here this CS3H interaction is there. That's why energy increases to some more value, 3.3 kilocalories per mole. And that's why. Again here also, by the same logic as to that of ethane, eclipse is more stable than, staggered is more stable than eclipse. But energy in that case was 3 kilocalories in ethane. Here it is 3.3 because of this methyl and hydrogen interaction. These are the conformations of butane. So rotation of say carbon single bond gives 4 different types. Fully eclipse means CS3 in the same line. Most unstable. CS3 60 degree apart from each other, Gauch 1. CS3 60 degree apart from each other, Gauch 2. Or 300 degree. Here from on this side it is 60 degree. Means 60 degree on this side or even on this side it is Gauch 2. Partially eclipse means CS3H in the same line. Here also CS3H in the same line. Non-bonded group in the same line. So it is partially eclipse. Staggered means this CS3 at 180 degree angle to each other. The most stable and preferred conformation of butane because these two repulsive groups are exactly on opposite side. So no interaction between methyl, no increase in energy, more stability. So this is again partial eclipse. So conformation analysis of ethane already we have gone through. N-butane now. So where there is Gauch form, NT, this is staggered conformation at 180 degree only. Correct. It's partially eclipse as 120 and 240. Correct. Now factors affecting stability of conformation. First is torsional strain. So more is the torsional strain, less is the energy. More is the energy and less is the stability. Non-bonded interactions. If there are non-bonded interaction, then it increases the energy because repulsive forces are more. Dipole-dipole interaction. So non-bonded atoms tend to take position that minimize the dipole-dipole repulsive or maximize dipole-dipole attraction. So it is gets stabilized by hydrogen bonding. Now listen here. This is staggered conformation for ethylene dibromide. This is front carbon and this one is backside carbon. It is less stable, ClOH, chlorohydrin. But it is more stable. Why? Because this hydrogen and chlorine when come together, there might have chances of hydrogen bonding. That's why. Stereochemistry of cyclohexane. Yes, this is cyclohexane in chair form. So these are different forms. This is chair form. This is half chair form. They can be converted just by flipping this ring. Boat form, twist boat, half chair, and chair. So only we have to consider chair form, and it is a peculiar ring structure of 6 carbon. Simply we have to consider chair form and boat form. Now this is the chair conformation. 6 carbon, 12 hydrogens. On each carbon there are axial hydrogen and equatorial hydrogen. Correct. So this is Newman projection formula. First carbon, second carbon. This is first carbon, cyclohexane. Second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon, and sixth carbon. Correct. Chair conformation is more stable because torsional strain is less in chair conformation. Rest of the conformations are actually less stable because now half chair conformation. Yes, there is an angle strain and torsional strain. 11 kilocalories per mole. So that's why it is less stable. Least preferred conformation. Twist boat conformation. Here there are flagpole hydrogen. There is interaction between these two hydrogen. So it increases the energy of the molecule by 1.5 kilocalories more, and that's why it is less stable. Twist both. Now both conformation. Yes, here also flagpole hydrogens are there. Means these two non-bonded hydrogens coming in front of each other. They have given name flagpole hydrogens by stereochemistry. Yes. They lie apart from each other by 1.83 degree angstrom. Their energy is 7.1 kilocalories per mole, more than chair conformation. This is the both conformation. These two hydrogens are flagpole hydrogen. There is interaction between them. Interaction increases energy. Energy increases stability, decreases. This is the Newman projection formula or conformation for both conformation of cyclohexane. See here, there are interactions, repulsive forces as they come close together. These four hydrogen, these two. So van der Waals strain is there. This is Newman projection formula. Energy profile diagram for cyclohexane. This is chair, most stable. Half chair, least stable. Twist boat, next to it. See the values. Half chair, 11 kilocalories. More energy, less stability. 5.5 kilocalories. 1.5 kilocalories. More than this, means boat is less stable actually than twist boat. Actually, lower is the energy, more is the stability. Twist boat is more stable than simple boat. Correct. Similarly, this is twist boat too. So this graph indicates stability of the various conformations of cyclohexane. There are 12 hydrogens attached to this. So the hydrogens which are perpendicular to the plane of the ring are called as axial hydrogen, and hydrogens which are parallel to the plane of the ring are called as equatorial hydrogen. Ring flipping means conversion of one ring into another ring. See, this ring on flipping is like this, but number of so the groups which are axial in this ring becomes equatorial here. Correct. This group, this hydrogen was axial. Axial means perpendicular to the plane of the ring. On flipping it becomes equatorial. Equatorial means parallel to the plane of the ring. Methyl cyclohexane. Simply one hydrogen of the cyclohexane replaced by methyl group, methyl cyclohexane. But see, now there are interactions. 1,3 diaxial interaction. This group is first and second, third. So this 1,3 position groups repels each other on this side also and on that side also. This is 1, 2, 3. And this is 1, 6, 5. But from this first carbon, this methyl group was attached to this first carbon. Both are coming to be 3. So there are 2 1,3 diaxial interaction. And that's why it increases the energy of the molecule, decreasing the stability. This is also called as Buton-Gauch interaction. We have learned it in butane also. So this equatorial methyl cyclohexane, no Gauch and 1,3 diaxial interaction. That's why it is more stable. In the last slide, if it is axial, then it is less stable. Why? Because it interact. There are 2 1,3 diaxial interaction. So it decreases the stability of this compound. But if the same compound is taken in equatorial form, there is no 1,3 diaxial interaction, no Gauch interaction. So equatorial methyl cyclohexane is more stable than axial methyl cyclohexane. This is the reason. In axial methyl cyclohexane, there are 2 1,3 diaxial interaction. That's why. Thank you.